Okay, I'll call the meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Mr. Lerner,
Here.
Ms. Dolan,
Here.
Mrs. Jeffrey,
Here.
Mayor Morgan,
Here.
Mr. Comiskey,
Here.
Mrs. McKnight,
Here.
Mr. Gardner.
Here.
Okay, salute the flag. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
It's a public meeting, Borough Council, Borough of New Providence, County, Union State, New Jersey. Adequate notice has been given in accordance with PL 1975. Chapter 231, that annual notice for revision was made in conformance with Section 13 of the Act. Well, tonight, this is a great night because we're going to be honoring Chris Wazinski for his accomplishment, winning gold medalist in Special Olympics. So. And did you bite into this or what?
It's not chocolate.
Now you can see, this is pretty long, so they made the print big for me. Whereas the Borough of New Providence proudly recognizes residents whose dedication, perseverance, sportsmanship, and commitment to excellence inspire our community and exemplify the very best of our hometown. And whereas New Providence resident Christopher Wazinski earned the distinguished honor of representing Special Olympics team New Jersey in the traditional 5-on-5 flag football D2 division at the 2026 Special Olympics USA Games held in Minneapolis, Minnesota, competing against the nation's finest athletes. And whereas Christopher and his teammates demonstrated exceptional athleticism, teamwork, and determination through the tournament, completing an undefeated championship run while proudly representing the state of New Jersey. And whereas during pool play, Team New Jersey earned victories over Michigan, Idaho, and Indiana, securing the top seed in this division and advancing to the gold medal round. And whereas the medal round, Team New Jersey continued its remarkable performance by defeating Nebraska. They got big farm boys out there.
They're all about their corn.
Yeah. We have pizza. In the semifinal before advancing the gold medal championship game. And whereas Team New Jersey concluded its unforgettable tournament by defeating Special Olympics Michigan in the gold medal championship, capturing the traditional 5-on-5 flag football D2 national championship and earning gold medal at the 2026 Special Olympics US Games. And whereas Christopher's outstanding achievement reflects countless hours of training, dedication, perseverance, and teamwork, while serving as an exceptional ambassador for the Borough of New Providence and the state of New Jersey and the Special Olympics movement. And whereas on a mission of Special Olympics is providing a year-round sports training and athletic competition for individuals with intellectual disabilities, promoting inclusion, confidence, friendship, and opportunity through the transformative power of the sport. And whereas Christopher's accomplishments inspire residents of all ages by demonstrating that determination, courage, teamwork, and perseverance can overcome obstacles that lead to extraordinary success, reminding us that true champions are measured not only by victories, but by character, sportsmanship, and the example they set for others. Whereas the Borough of New Providence extends a sincere appreciation to Christopher's family, coaches, teammates, volunteers, and supporters whose encouragement and commitment helped make this remarkable national championship possible. Now therefore be proclaimed that the mayor and borough council of the Borough of New Providence do hereby proudly recognize and congratulate Christopher Wazinski, Special Olympics team New Jersey flag football gold medalist for his outstanding achievement in representing the team New Jersey at the 2026 Special Olympics, competing an undefeated tournament, winning traditional 5-on-5 flag football D2 gold medal, and bringing great pride, honor, and distinction to the Borough of New Providence in the state of New Jersey. I'm getting to the last page. This is the longest proclamation ever. Be it further proclaimed that the Borough of New Providence applauds Christopher for exemplifying perseverance, courage, teamwork, and sportsmanship, and encourages all residents to celebrate his accomplishments while surrounding the mission of Special Olympics and creating a more inclusive world through the power of sports. Congratulations. Anyone want to come up too? You can all get it, huh? Bobby, you have a wide angle laser or what?
Can we move some over here because we're so off-centered?
You turn the TV on.
Positive.
Yeah, no, you're fine.
Okay.
Are we good?
Yes, thank you.
There you go. Senator Bramlett had a proclamation made for the state of New Jersey. I know that Nancy initiated it, so why don't you go ahead?
I will, thank you. I have the good fortune of representing Borough of New Providence for 17 years as a member of District 21. So, and I know Susie Klein very well from my years of exercising in the pool with her. So when I heard about this great accomplishment, I contacted Senator Bramlett and asked that they get a resolution from the state on behalf of both the Senate and the Assembly of the State of New Jersey, commending you for what you've accomplished. I'm not going to read everything that the mayor just read, but I will also acknowledge not only do you have great athletic prowess, but to acknowledge your academic achievements as well. That I have learned that you are a student at the 12+ program at the Calais School, am I pronouncing that properly?
Yes.
And where you've earned certificates in home improvement and horticulture from the County College of Morris. That you've also competed on the New Providence High School boys swim team and accredited Special Olympics for giving you the confidence to compete at that level. And that you have achievements not just in football, but in swimming, basketball, and bowling. So you're quite an accomplished athlete. So again, I have a certificate here, a resolution from the state of New Jersey with all the bells and whistles and certificates that I told Susie that she's got to frame this and put it up on her wall and then to commend you. And the final words are, for your hard work and perseverance, that Christopher Wazinski established a model worthy of emulation and set a standard toward which others might strive. And it is altogether proper and fitting for the members of the legislature to pause in their deliberations to acknowledge Christopher and to praise him as an individual of strong character and boundless fortitude. And that the legislature hereby commends and congratulates Christopher Wazinski, pays tribute to his meritorious record of commitment and achievement, and extends sincere best wishes for continued success in all of your future endeavors. So on behalf of the citizens and the state Senate, congratulations.
Yeah, the parents are.
And believe me, it's not often that they all agree on something.
That's true.
We only see our Bob and has some yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Brendan, you can. Go ahead. Okay.
No, yeah, football's real.
Don't need that.
Ooh, is it ice cream?
Okay.
It's like a big- it does look like this one, right? You should the rest.
Hey, guys, the rest is just regular business. You don't have to stay if you don't want to.
What?
Absolutely
Thank you.
fascinating.
Oh, is that the
It's gonna be a page turner.
Yeah.
Yeah, can picture that.
Yeah. it's a great picture.
What a great honor.
That is awesome. And now you get to party. No, it's probably in the fridge. Because that's good custard inside.
Okay, approval of minutes of June 23rd. Motion, please.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Yes.
No, so be it. Okay, we have some correspondence, Vivian Randberg, about a local restaurant with Team Spirit. Irrigation Association of New Jersey Enforcement of Landscape Licensing Law. Michael LeBlond, he has a problem with the Jersey Central Power and Light. He actually lives in Berkeley Heights. State of New Jersey Board of Public Utilities suspending increases for raising rates for water service. Mike Cross about the community pool bridge. I know he's talking about ponding on the bridges on the edges, but that job's not complete yet. Correct? So we haven't paid them until it's completely finished.
Can I just, I want, it was a very long action line, and it had a lot of things in there. I just want to make a couple things clear. First and foremost, the bridge project wasn't a project that was completed because we wanted to do it, right? It was a project that was completed because we had to do it. If you remember, and you can probably talk more about the details, but we had a couple storms that did some damage to some of our pedestrian bridges, right? I think we even lost one.
We do.
And our engineers, when they reviewed our bridges and saw micro cracks and things of that nature, it's now in our hands for public safety reasons to make sure that if they need to be replaced, that they're going to be replaced. So this project was a necessity. Okay, it wasn't just something that we did because we wanted to do it. So that being said, there were some ups and downs with this because of timing, because it related to the pool, right? And we couldn't install the bridge because the timing of it would have corresponded with the actual pool opening and the pool having to use it and put some chemicals in the water and things of that nature. So the logistics were difficult for this particular bridge as well. So, our professional engineers, our borough engineer, our borough planners, they've have been in contact with the construction company and the bridge work throughout the entire project. I saw it. I texted Bernadette. Literally, I walked over the bridge and I saw it. I took a picture. I texted Bernadette. I said, "Hey, this kind of looks funny." And her response to me immediately within minutes was, "Yep, we've noticed those concerns. Engineers have noted that. It's on a punch list, and it will be coordinated with our construction officials, and they won't get their final payment until that punch list is completed." So, I just wanted to just make sure that when I read this, it wasn't a necessity, right? It wasn't a waste of taxpayer money, and our job, right? Number one is public safety. So that was a safety concern, so we had to replace it. They referenced an article in the TAP that also said the bridge was $400,000 to $800,000, and that's what the article said, and that was that was the coordination phase where we were just trying to figure out how much it was going to cost, and that was the estimate, around $400,000 to $800,000. And Colliers actually, put the bid specs together, and we got, I think maybe five bids on that, and it came in under $300,000. So it actually was almost half of what we originally thought. So it turned out to be, less than we wanted it to be, and at the same time, it was a very important bridge that needed to be replaced. So I just wanted to put that out there and let everybody know that, those is important for us when it comes to public safety, and we do make sure that we're spending taxpayer money, and that, again, we hire professionals like Colliers, to help us with preparing bid packages, to help us with reviewing the construction companies that we're going to be working with, and we've talked about this a lot when it comes to government work. Unfortunately, we just can't pick any bid that we want, right? We have to look at what's a reasonable bid and where is it in the ballpark of what we expect it to be, and unfortunately, we got to take the lowest one, right? And sometimes that means there's logistic issues or timing issues or
You're exactly right. In fact, it probably won't even be completed till the fall because, people need to use it for pool use. So, there was a lot of factors going into that.
So again, I just wanted, it was a really long action line. I don't know
Right.
what the response was to it, but I wanted to kind of offer a little bit more details there.
Okay. We have a planning board notice for Buffalo Wild Wings Go. It's a takeout. Buffalo Wild Wings, there'll be a couple seating in there, but it was approved by the planning board last week. Berkeley Heights, ordinance introduction, another one. In fact, we have 3 in a row from Berkeley Heights. And we have a Board of Adjustment for 30 Fairmont Road. And City of Summit, an ordinance, final ordinance reading. Any comments? Seeing none, we'll go to council business. Administration, Nadine.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution 2026-241 is a resolution awarding contract Government Strategy Group for operational review services for 2026. So at the last meeting, we had mentioned that we had received a grant to move forward with this. The borough received 2 qualified statements in response to the request for qualifications for operational review services. The submissions were received from Government Strategy Group, GSG, and from the Matrix Consulting Group. Both firms demonstrated the professional qualifications, organizational capacity, and technical expertise necessary to successfully complete the borough's operational review. Each firm presented experienced project teams with expertise in municipal administration, finance, public works, public safety, human resources, planning, and organizational analysis. After reviewing both submissions against the evaluation criteria established in the RFQ, I recommend that the borough award the contract to Government Strategy Group, GSG. GSG's proposal distinguished itself through its extensive New Jersey municipal expertise, specialized experience conducting management enhancement reviews, comprehensive statewide benchmarking resources, and unique familiarity with the borough's operations and organizational structure. So collectively, these qualifications position GSG to deliver the greatest overall value to the borough by providing practical, data-driven recommendations that are tailored to New Providence's operational needs and long-term strategic plans.
I do have just a quick question.
Sure.
The grant, does that cover 100% of the services, or do we
No,
cover a
we
portion
still
also?
put in for that. What's the,
Grant covers 75% of it, 25 is on the borough.
yeah,
Okay.
75, 25.
Is there a timeline?
A year.
So we have to use the grant within a year?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And do we have a timeline when they're going to get started?
Tomorrow.
There you go.
That's nice and
That's
fast.
pretty quick.
Quick
about a-
turnaround.
It's
Hope
about
it
a six,
doesn't take a year.
Let's say July
No.
15th, July 15th. I think.
yeah, it's about a 6 month, from the beginning of the project to, complete.
Yeah. So well within the scope, well within everything that we were looking for, and definitely will be continuously reviewed by the borough administrator, the CFO, and all the vested parties. So it'll definitely be reviewed thoroughly.
Okay, you're still up before the
Let's go, let's go. Affordable housing. Resolution 2026-242 is a resolution authorizing execution of an amended mediation agreement resolving challenges to the borough's housing element and fair share plan. So for those of you who have been watching along, we've been talking about our affordable housing plan for quite a while. We had some challengers, so this resolution kind of lays that to rest. It updates a previously approved affordable housing mediation agreement to reflect changed circumstances while continuing to resolve key legal challenges to New Providence's fourth round affordable housing plan. So executing the amended agreement is intended to support the borough's efforts to achieve compliance with New Jersey's affordable housing requirements. So again, this is all part of what we need to do to get past the fourth round. The rest of the resolutions are also related to that. So Resolution 2026-243 is a resolution of the Borough of New Providence referring to the Planning Board of the Borough amendments to the borough's housing element and fair share plan for consideration and adoption. So the Rehabilitation Program Manual is the borough's rule book for operating its affordable housing rehabilitation program. It explains how the municipality will identify, approve, fund, monitor, and document repairs to existing homes occupied by low and moderate income households. So again, if you've been following along, everything we do with affordable housing, we're really tied into the planning board. Resolution 2026-244 is a resolution of the Borough of New Providence adopting manuals for the administration of affordable housing. So the Affordability Assistance Manual explains how the borough will provide financial assistance to make affordable housing units accessible to income-qualified households while ensuring compliance with the state's affordable housing regulations and protecting the municipality's affordable housing credits. Resolution 2026-245 is a resolution authorizing agreement between the Borough of New Providence and CGP&H LLC for Affordable Housing Administrative Agent General Services. So this resolution approves the renewal of the professional services agreement between the Borough of New Providence and CGP&H LLC for the provision of professional affordable housing consulting services. The agreement is effective August 1st, 2026 through July 31st, 2027, and may be terminated by either party within 30 days written notice. So also how we've been talking all along about there are so many factors that go into affordable housing, how people are chosen, how they move in, all the requirements and such. These resolutions kind of lay that map out on how we're gonna do that going forward, and is very important. We have an outside administrative agent that does that because the amount of paperwork that's involved with each and every one of these applications is very, very extensive. Okay, and last but not least, Resolution 2026-246 is the resolution amending contract term for Susan Gruel of Hire Gruel and Associates for professional planning services related to affordable housing. So this is approving the extension of the agreement with Hire Gruel and Associates through December 31st, 2026, due to ongoing affordable housing planning needs associated with the fourth round settlement. They will continue to provide professional planning services at an hourly rate not to exceed $190 per hour. So we had planned on this being done by the end of the first quarter, but unfortunately, as more roadblocks were encountered, we had to extend. Since they are really our go-to experts in this plan at this point, we're going to stay with them through the fruition of the plan. So hopefully it'll be done sooner rather than later.
Okay, Matt, community activities.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Resolution 247 is a resolution approving requisition R2601514 for Ben Schaefer Recreation, Inc., in the amount not to exceed $44,793.68 for park benches for Centennial Park. We'll be using ESCNJ Co-op. So we're going to be putting 24 benches, replacing 24 benches in Centennial Park. The current benches out there apparently are 25 years old, and we use the park now in our summer series and a lot of other functions throughout the year, so this will be a very nice upgrade.
Can't believe it's 25 years already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Time flies.
Resolution 248 is a resolution approving requisition R2601505 for Ben Schaefer Recreation, Inc. in the amount not to exceed $14,580 for patio and driveway replacement related to Oakwood Park Playground Project, same co-op. We are, we actually ran into a problem when we were excavating, and the sprinkler system happened to be under the playground park, so we are moving that around, as well as some of the retaining walls for some of the walkways from the park to the shack.
You might as well keep going.
All right.
Engineering.
Okay, engineering, we have an ordinance 2026-06. Is an ordinance of the Borough of New Providence, County of Union, State of New Jersey, amending Chapter 310 of the Code entitled Zoning. So just what we're doing here, we are amending our zoning code to do a few things. First is we are amending it to change the definition for data center. And we're going to repeal it and replace it with a new data center definition. I am not going to read the whole definition. You can see the ordinance. It's very long. We're also going to add a definition for data center micro mini, which will also has a definition there you can read in the ordinance. And lastly, we're going to be amending Article 4, Section 310, entitled TBI 1, Technology and Business Innovation Zone 1, and Section 31038 entitled TBI 2, Technology and Business Innovation Zone 2. We are amending to remove data center as a permitted use. This ordinance will maintain the borough's commitment to protecting the character of the community and ensuring that future development remains consistent with the master plan and the health, safety, and welfare of its residents and businesses. Okay. Resolution 249 is a resolution authorizing the execution of final design federal aid modification agreement for the 2018 Safe Routes to School grant. So the New Jersey Department of Transportation actually has notified us on June 25th that the Federal Highway Administration authorized the funding of $275,317.45 for our final design costs associated with the federal aid program project. This is our Safe Routes to School project from 2018. 8 years ago, we started this project, so we've had many meetings designing, working with residents. Just to give you an idea of, since it's been so long, this project scope incorporates projects around 3 distinct areas where we'll be adding new sidewalks, curbs, and ADA improvements, as well to provide continuous accessible routes between our various schools in the neighborhoods and community facilities, specifically as follows: South Street between Oakwood Drive and Woodland Road, Laurel Drive, and Brookside Drive. So this is our Safe Routes to School funding grant. We're way down the road on this. We finally got approval to spend the funds to start the projects. Okay. Resolution 250 is an approval to submit a grant application and execute a grant contract with the New Jersey Department of Transportation for Central Avenue improvements. So here we're looking to apply to NJTOT municipal aid funding for $697,459.20 for improvements to Central Avenue from South Street to Maple Street, approximately 0.66 miles, focusing on roadway preservation, safety upgrades, and all the work outside of the New Jersey Transit right-of-way. We learned our lesson there.
Yes.
Resolution 251 is a resolution accepting the proposal of Colliers Engineering and Design for professional services related to the DPW building replacement project. So, if you don't remember, we passed, last year, we were moving forward with replacing our DPW building. Our DPW building is as old as, or older than our mayor, I think. You used to run around in those buildings when you were a child, apparently. But no, our
You're older than me.
our buildings are very old. The DPW building is very old, dilapidated. So we approved actually replacing it, and we went forward with a, what's it called, when you bring in the building, prefab, right? So we had approved a prefab building there. Unfortunately, as we got further along with the company, there were a lot of add-ons, and that price tag got too high. So we pulled it back. We are engaging Colliers now to move forward with the due diligence of all the work that we've done to date to try to get us to a place where we want to be, which is a new building within the same parameters of what we've already reviewed and approved in our previous years. Okay. Resolution 252 is a resolution approving Rec R2601596 for R.A. Dill and Sons in an amount not to exceed $2,006 for additional boiler work at the municipal annex. So the annex across the street, we just need some additional boiler work to be finished up over there. Annex is coming along very nicely. I think we talked about our police will be moving over there in August. Resolution 253 is a resolution authorizing agreement between the Borough of New Providence and Train North Jersey for HVAC upgrades to the municipal building in an amount not to exceed $1,027,560. Yes, that is $1 million. We are actually going to upgrade our HVAC system here in the building. It's going to be an addition to current boiler system. Is that correct?
It'll be a replacement of.
The replacement of the entire. I thought some of the building was staying, or is there a separate part on the?
Everybody else has roof units.
This will add air conditioning to our gymnasium, which is very, very needed. This train contract, right now, we're reviewing whether we can utilize a program where we can fund it at zero interest over 5 years. We're hoping to do that. We're asking the state to take a look at it. If we can do that, that's what we're obviously going to do. If we cannot do that, then we will go into our capital budget, and we'll be using capital funds for it.
Prevent lack of heat like you guys had this winter.
Yeah.
That was not fun.
It's necessary.
Yeah. Resolution 254 is a resolution approving contract with Northeast Roof Maintenance for repairs to the library roof not to exceed $35,940 using our Bergen County Co-op. Towards the end of last year, I believe we had some leaks in the library building. They put some temporary fixes on it. We are going to repair those fixes a little bit more permanently. Resolution 255 is a resolution approving a contract with CRT Contracting and Coatings, Inc. for roof coating and repairs to the EMS building in an amount not to exceed $53,225.45. This is also part of our Bergen County Co-op. This is going to address deteriorating roof conditions on our EMS building. This is a permanent coating that'll, I believe, we get a 20-year. We're going to be getting a 20-year warranty on. That's all I have.
Can I ask a question about one of the resolutions?
Sure.
Just going back to 249, about the safe routes to school. So we had a session here, was maybe over a year ago, I don't remember exact date, where we had the neighbors on, specifically Laurel Drive and Brookside, come and look at the schematics. And I know there was a lot of concern about what the plan was showing. And then since then, There really hasn't been any word about what the engineering group was doing with that feedback from the residents. So this final design activity, is there going to be an attempt to try to address some of the concerns that the residents brought up, or are they just moving ahead with what had been originally presented?
No, they always try to take into consideration the feedback that they receive at those PIC meetings. Sometimes they can incorporate it and sometimes they can't. So I haven't seen new plans since
Yeah.
then.
Okay.
So the money that we're receiving in this resolution is just for the final design phase. It's not for the construction of. So there's another $430,000 set aside for the construction. But as we work through this, you'll see more.
Okay, because I'm going to get questions.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Of course.
okay. I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
You know
brings it
somebody
back
on
to life.
Borough, right?
One or two people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just brings it back up to
Yeah, thank you.
life.
Okay, Lisa, you're up.
Thank you, Mayor.
Finance.
Resolution
Takes
256
forever.
is a resolution providing for the insertion of any special item of revenue in the 2026 budget pursuant of NJSA 40A 4-87, Chapter 159, PL 1948. It's the National Opioid Settlement. This is one of several settlements that we get from them. This one is for $499.62. It does have very specific uses of how we can use those funds. Resolution 257 is a resolution providing for the insertion of any special item of revenue in the 2026 budget pursuant of NJSA 40A 4-87, Chapter 159, PL 1948. This is a recycling tonnage grant. We'll be inserting $22,605.07 into the budget as part of the recycling tonnage grant. So these funds, as it sounds, are restricted and must be used to support our recycling programs, things like recycling pickup, collection, recycling education, enforcement, and even program administration and staffing at the recycling center. So 22,000, that's nice amount to offset our ever-increasing recycling costs every year. Resolution 258 is a resolution authorizing for the payment of the attached bills payable list. The amount is $5,362,559.09. The most significant item on here is for the New Providence Board of Education. That is the June tax levy for $4,806,484. We have the July appropriation for the library of $119,967. We have to Foggia Trinity Electric, $56,567 for energy efficient upgrades at the annex. Woodland Builders, $44,193 for annex upgrades, and $37,406 to Marlon De Silva for replaced flooring throughout the annex. And this is all in to ready the building for the police department moving over. Resolution 259, Shagun Holdings versus Borough of New Providence. They're at Block 170, Lot 3.01, otherwise known as 165 South Street. The docket number is 000-304-2026 and 008796-2026. This is a resolution that's going to be settling pending tax appeals with 165 South Street, and it's going to be reducing the property's assessments for 2025 and 2026. It establishes the terms for the refunds and the fee adjustments and authorizes the borough officials to finalize that agreement.
Okay, personnel, Nadine.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution 2026-260 is a resolution appointing Timothy O'Connor as part-time tax assessor for the Borough of New Providence. So we are officially appointing Timothy as part-time assessor through June 30th of 2030, and this appointment is done by state statute. So we welcome him officially. He's been here for a while, but this makes it all official. Next, we are introducing ordinance 2026-07, which is an ordinance fixing the minimum and maximum rates of compensation for certain offices and positions of employment established and maintained in and for the Borough of New Providence. So New Jersey statutes mandate that municipal governing bodies must fix and determine municipal compensations by ordinance. So this ordinance is being amended so we can include the position of Deputy Chief of Police. So that's really the only amendment.
Okay, we have ordinance 08, introduction, chapter 257, and the ordinance is intended to improve traffic management, public safety by formally establishing restricted parking for police vehicles at the municipal center. Maintaining accurate parking regulations throughout the borough and ensuring borough traffic code reflects current operational needs and prior roadway changes. 261 is one that I hate to read. It's the retirement of Dan Henn. Didn't seem that long ago in 2000 when I swore Dan in as a patrol officer. He's been a great chief, good friend, always handled things the right way. I wish him all the luck in the world. As a mayor, I hate to see him go. As a friend, I'm happy that he's found a nice job that I'm getting a little choked up. You know, you get really close to some people that you work with all the time, and, you know, I'm gonna miss him dearly. Thank God he lives in town, and I'll be able to see him, and, you know, I know a friendship like that just doesn't walk away, so we wish him and his family all the best, and thank him so much for all the services he's given to this community.
Can I just give a quick little story? I may have told you this before, I just think it's worth repeating. Yeah, I met Dan 18 years ago. My son, a little over 18 years ago, my son was a baby, and he had slipped and split his lip open, and I had called 911, and my wife was going to get food, so I was by myself handling 4 children, and I was very scared and nervous, and you know, Dan showed up right away, Patrolman Dan, right, and he was awesome. He remembers it too, because he throws it back in my face. The only thing I kept saying was, "My wife's going to kill me. My wife's going to kill me." But no, Dan was he was professional. He was very courteous. He was very calm. And something I do want to add. I have had many experiences with our NP police. You know, over the last 21 years. They're just, you know, in stressful times and situations when things happen and they're the first on the scene, they're just really fantastic. And that wasn't even the best part, right? So, you know, my son had to go to the hospital. He had to get plastic surgery. It was traumatizing, right? And the next day, there's a knock on the door, and there's a policeman standing out there, and I'm like, uh-oh, what did we do? And I opened the door, and it was Dan. And he says, "Hey, Mr. Comiskey, how you doing? I just wanted to check in on Devin and see how he's doing." And I was just like, wow, you know, what a great guy. You know, I didn't grow up in a place that police acted that way, you know? So I saw Dan at a pickup at Saltbrook, and I went right up to him, and we've been pretty good friends ever since. And he's just a great guy. I'm going to miss him, too.
You would be surprised how many times police officers go back the next day just to see how everything is. Not only them, the rescue squad does the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
How's everybody doing? This and that. This is things you don't get in cities.
Yeah.
You know, you get that in a small community like this.
Agreed.
So there's a lot to be said about a small community.
For sure.
Okay. So since he's retiring, anybody who retires in good standing, we always let them have their service revolver. Okay, I don't think it's a revolver anymore, it's a ball. Next one is appointing Don Stratenovic as chief, and that will start on August 1st. You know, Don, he's been here a long time, done a great job for us, and wish him well. And I told him that today when I saw him, I'm not as bad as Dan says.
Don't believe what he's told.
Yeah. Okay, Resolution 264 is appointing Mario Suarez as a Class 3 Special Enforcement Officer, and he'll be going to Our Lady of Peace. Okay, 265 is a contract between, authorizing contract between the Borough of New Providence and Rave Mobile Safety, and that's our SWAT 911. And thank God for that. That worked out really well in this past storm. Ordinance 09 is an ordinance that formally recognizes deputy chief position within the police department command structure in support of department leadership, administration, and operational needs. Next, we have some raffle applications. New Providence High School, RA 1265, and two for our house, 1263, and BA 135. Oh, that's bingo. So all applications were properly prepared and reviewed, and they're good to go. Okay, Public Works, Alan.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution 266, it's a resolution approving requisition R260150 for Schifano Construction Corp. in the amount not to exceed $477,116.73 for 2026 road paving, Morris County Co-op number 6A. This is just approving the annual paving of 12 borough roads and sections of the pool parking lot. Resolution 267, it's a resolution approving requisition R260155 for Foley Machinery in the amount not to exceed $3,100 for weekly bulldozer rental for flume cleanup. And this is, just like it says, approval for the rental of a bulldozer to clean up additional stormwater-related tasks.
Okay, we'll go to committee reports. I guess the first thing we should report on is the storm. Everybody's up, restored. I know it was very frustrating to many. There was a lot of rumors out there, what was going on. A lot of trees fell. So it happens in suburban areas. Thank God we didn't get the heavy rains with it, because with that kind of storm and all the debris falling, it would have clogged up the sewers. And we were fortunate in that fact. The other fortunate thing was that happened on the 3rd of July, and all our police officers were in town. So that was good. That was fortunate.
With all the live wires down, absolutely.
That 10 minutes was like,
Yeah,
devastation.
it was tough. I was holding down the tent
Yeah,
with the
same.
cake. I felt like Mary Poppins, you know, but that was tough. That was a tough one. In the morning, there was a 20% chance of rain and maybe a shower. So we committed to the fireworks. Once those fireworks are loaded, you can't cancel them. Those are highly explosive rockets, and you have to shoot them off. So unfortunately, the weather didn't conform to what we needed to do, but, you know.
the rainbow was nice, though.
Yeah, what's that?
The rainbow was really nice, and the sky
Yeah.
was beautiful.
Yeah, I was looking for my pot of gold, but I couldn't find it. It was probably hiding under one of those trees that fell. I have to say, when it first came, I ran over to John Cigarillo. He was in the fire chief's truck across the way. I gotta tell you, he took the proper steps in the proper order. There is a sequence of what you have to follow. And thank God nobody got injured. I don't know how that didn't happen. If anybody saw some of the houses, you were the recipient of one built where the tree went right into the house, destroyed the house. It was truly scary. But, you know, I have to give I keep saying this, every one of the rescue squad, fire department, or police department, I would trust anyone in my family with their training and their expertise and how they handle things. And I know, you know, doing this a long time, that they do take the proper steps in the proper order. And that it's very important. Other people, emergency management personnel, you know, it's really, you have the generators out there for the traffic lights, you have all the barricades and cones up. People forget, you have to clean up after. DPW is still out there trying to clean everything up. There's actually, wind is coming through. We had some pretty good wind tonight, and branches keep falling. So they're still out there working hard. And I know, Jess, you were there at the cooling center and charging center down at the DeCorso Center, spent hours upon hours down there volunteering their time. So there's a lot of moving parts to all this. Thank God, it wasn't that we didn't have heavy rains, and sump pumps we didn't need the sump pumps. But I know, like Florham Park, they got jammed, Morristown, all up in Morris County. And it was scary just sitting there watching Joe Murphy's cake, which we gotta thank him for. And that thing came out of nowhere. So,
I mean, we had to hide in NP Fuel garage for a
yeah,
good 45 minutes, like 60 people.
there were a lot of people. So,
We had the F3 guys there. They were ready to protect.
But you had cake.
Yeah, we had cake.
And the
cake.
Lots of cake.
That was good.
A lot of us
so
took it.
actually, they were blowing up beach balls for the kids.
Yeah.
I found a beach ball in my backyard, up on the top of Livingston Avenue.
Wow,
That's how
Crazy it was.
the wind
the wind
took
was.
it.
Yeah, just unbelievable.
It's crazy.
Okay. Had a lot of heroes. I want to thank neighbors out there helping other neighbors. You know, I heard a lot of heartwarming stories out there. People checking on their elderly neighbors, things like that. I know there was a lot of misconceptions out there. Oh, there's a guy sitting there not doing anything. He's waiting for this. Well, I know the one on Commonwealth. He was sitting there at the one end. He couldn't leave because it was a live wire. And if they disconnected that wire, about 200 houses would have been without power. So he had to sit there. There's some big trees. I mean, big. But you know, like I said, we always get through these things. Been through enough of them, that's for sure. The other thing, we had a stormwater meeting. Little update. You saw the bulldozer that we're renting. Cleaned out the flume. There's a lot of debris in there, but clean that out, got rid of that. You'll see, you may see colliers walking around with vests. They're mapping out the stormwater system. So don't be alarmed. They'll have the identification, they'll have the vest, the whole thing. So they're gonna be out. We asked people before the storm, clean out the roadways so that debris doesn't get into storm sewers. I was still trying to work with transit to get that one storm drain opened up. We had a little birdie told us that they went in and cleaned it, and we checked it out, and now they didn't. So we'll keep on them. But if everybody does their part, if they go and look at their storm drain every once in a while, make sure it's clear of debris, that would be a big help, a really big help.
I know, I personally went around like a 3 square block radius and cleaned up all of the storm drains, anything that was like right after the storm, anything that could have gotten into our system.
Yeah, yeah, I clean mine out by my house, you know, if everybody does a little, it works. A lot of problems are with the landscapers. They go and cut lawns and stuff, and then they blow all the grass and everything into the storm drain, which is a no-no. But we're getting in it. I know Ralph was talking, if it wasn't for the storm, he would have been cleaning out all the brooks. So we're getting there. We're getting there. It's going to be a long process. So that's all I have. Alan?
Okay, so thank you, Mayor. Our next sustainability meeting is next week, but the last one, we had some discussions about our community energy plan and the borough's receptiveness to use a solar developer to see what opportunities may exist for installation of solar on municipal buildings, and some thoughts on some educational forums on composting and electric power equipment. I actually was unable to attend the last Board of Health meeting, but I thank you, Nadine, for that. I did get some updates. She can touch on that a little bit further, but we touched on items regarding animal control and Board of Health inspections. They also touched on the ordinance to prohibit pet shops in town selling puppy mill dogs. Now you have a new puppy. You got a rescue. That's great.
Rescue.
Yeah, rescue.
Yeah, rescue. Some of the zoning laws in town make it hard for someone to open a store in town without that ordinance. Stated in over 20 years, we have not had a complaint about puppy mills, but it's good to have that ordinance. We also discussed how chickens are illegal in New Providence, and
Despite that one.
and there are 3 residents in town that do own chickens.
At least.
Yeah, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
So I just want to really jump quickly. So number one, chickens are illegal, and if you shouldn't have them. There's a reason for that. There's a lot of health reasons related to that, okay? And you can ask our Board of Health. But I do want to point out, you mentioned puppy mills and them addressing that. That came through a action line request, okay? Someone asking us to take a look at this and prepare an ordinance preventing, our pet stores from selling puppies because they come from puppy mills, right? We kick in it to our Board of Health. This is a Board of Health, issue that they can, it's really under their purview, and it's under their jurisdiction, if you will, right, to write an ordinance on that. But I just wanted to mention that it came through an action line, right?
Yeah.
So we talk about action lines a lot, and sometimes there's something that we're just not thinking about, and there's a perfect opportunity for us to address an issue that somebody had seen in the world that we thought was beneficial for our residents here. So we're asking our Board of Health to take a look at that. So thank you for that.
Action demands action. Then we took action. That's it for me.
Okay, Kathleen?
Thank you, Mayor. Just a little addition with respect to the stormwater, that we should be, every resident in New Providence should be getting their next quarterly newsletter coming through. And I encourage you to read it before you recycle it. There's a lot of really good information in this quarter's newsletter about a program we're starting called Adopt a Drain. The mayor was just talking about this, and it's a way of creating awareness, and obviously it's not mandatory, but it's a way of getting residents to take some notice of the storm drains in their street and maybe claiming one of their own and just maintaining it, just when there's storms, go out there beforehand and make sure that they're cleared out. And I also just wanted to thank the mayor, actually, for all of your communication during this past week, 10 days, however long, feels like a year, but
Yeah.
I think that, not everybody has Facebook, but I think the way that you were communicating, it was getting around to the public, and people were recognizing that. And I think that's so important in a situation like this, that, residents are hearing from the people in charge. So thanks for doing that. I also wanted to acknowledge Bernadette for her efforts. Basically 24/7, she had no power for the bulk of the time, and she was here and coordinating everything. And that shows her devotion to the town as well. So I just wanted to acknowledge that.
She is truly amazing.
Yes, she is. That's it for me.
I didn't hear her complain at all. Did you?
She's too tired.
Just too tired to complain.
Nadine?
Thank you, Mayor. Just to wrap up a little bit more on the Board of Health. So with the chickens, so stay tuned. There will be some kind of ordinance coming out. So we did talk about it. We're waiting to hear back really from our building department to get that aspect. So stay tuned for chickens. The other thing is, every time I go to these meetings, I think you've seen it too, the Westfield Board of Health, what an amazing shared service we have with them. So we have the Westfield Board of Health oversee all the different aspects. Like Alan mentioned, animal control, they inspect all the restaurants, they do all of that. They're really on top of it. And I think our restaurant standard is very good, and that's amazing for our residents. But our health director, Megan Avalone, has such a passion for what she does. Particularly, she's working with the Women, Infant, Children group, so WIC. WIC just opened a new center in Summit, and she was very, very pivotal in having that come about. So in the past, I think there were WIC centers that were in Elizabeth and Plainfield, et cetera.
Way too
So,
far.
and where?
Way too far.
Way too far. And a lot of the people who utilize those resources, they would have to take buses or trains with their babies in tow to go to these places to get the services. Megan really pushed hard, and she got a center to open in Summit, at the Summit Community Center. This marks such a great improvement to our local residents. At last count, we have at least 40 participants in New Providence to the WIC program. This is an amazing benefit to them. Excuse me, and she was pivotal in making sure that that happened. There is a flyer on our borough website. We're trying to get that out to as many people as possible. We've sent that to our resource pantries. We've sent that to our food banks. We want to get the word out to as many residents as possible that this service is out there. So we'll try to put the flyer on the video, but it's on the borough website. Share that information far and wide with residents, because that's an amazing progress. So again, every time I go to those meetings, I have renewed faith about what a great Board of Health we have. Other than that, I think you're going to talk about the baseball game? Sure. Okay. One other thing, since the last meeting, we had a meeting at the DeCorso Center with Councilwoman Dolan and the mayor and myself. And for those of you who don't remember, we have this committee for the sheer purpose of ensuring that all of our residents, our senior residents, et cetera, everybody is up to date on what's going on in the borough. Everybody is informed on what's going on, and every voice is heard. I end every one of those meetings with, okay, here comes the most important part. We want to hear from you. We want your questions. We want your input. We want your feedback. So we were very lucky to go there on the 21st-ish. It seems so long ago,
I know.
but it was at the end of June, and we went. We'll be doing that again in September. We go quarterly to both Lantern Hill and to the DeCorso Center. So again, just trying to reach as many residents as possible, just to make sure that every voice is heard. That seems to be our theme of the night. Every voice is heard, and everybody's thoughts matter, and action will follow from that. So other than that, that's it for me.
I think the seniors like that part. Is it time to play bingo yet?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Or when we bring cookies.
Yeah.
One or the other.
Okay, so back to the storm. I did want to also say thank you to the mayor. He's really a true pioneer. He was out there every day, all day, providing multiple updates through his Facebook and Instagram. If you don't follow him on Facebook or Instagram, I highly recommend it. Not only for updates on storm activity, but you also get to see him in his top hat when we have holidays and things of that nature. But they were really, really good. And I think they went over everybody in my neighborhood anyway. Always wanted to know what was going on. I was getting a lot of text messages. I live off of Commonwealth. We were out 6 days, right? 5 days. I can't even count. But it was a major section that was out. Multiple telephone poles down, live wires. At the end of the day, a lot of misinformation. Like you said, people were, why can't they do anything there? And this person said that the wires aren't hot, but they were hot.
Mm-hmm.
They were hot for all the way until they weren't. At the end. So not everybody always has all the right information, right? So if you're unsure, call the borough. Our OEM coordinator, our police chief, our borough administrator. They're the ones that have the information. They know exactly, what's going on in the borough. Try not to get fooled by information you're getting from your, neighbor that had a conversation with someone who had a conversation with someone, okay? Because, it was a bad storm, and there was a lot of people in a bad spot, and a lot of people were getting frustrated, but at the end of the day, information is important. And when you have it, you feel a little bit better about yourself, about your situation. And of course, we didn't have answers either, right? We were, the answers were, a lot of times we didn't have answers, but, it's also good to know that you don't have answers, right? And I do want to point out, a lot of people were questioning whether or not, why can't we just have them go do this? And we have no control over that. The mayor, our OEM coordinator, they can't call the utility company and say, get a guy over there and shut that down and cut that tree, right? That's not how it works. The utility company has a plan, and their plan is to get the most people that they can up and running as soon as possible. So if there's a neighborhood with 110 homes and a neighborhood with 80 homes, they're gonna get the 110 homes up. Unless, of course, there's an emergency situation where wires are, and somebody can get hurt.
The other thing, there is a pecking order. Medical facilities, nursing homes, things like that, they get turned on first.
Right. So the reason why I say that is, at the end of the day, I'm frustrated. We were all frustrated. I mean, I know that the timing wasn't great, right? The length of time that it took to get everything up and running and cleaned up, and we're not happy with that.
During the heat wave.
Yeah, we're not happy with that. And to be honest, no one should be happy with that, right? We pay a lot of money for our utilities. They keep going up every year, and we expect that our utility companies are gonna, be able to turn things like this around a lot faster. This was a pretty weird storm, because it wasn't like a rainy, like you said, it wasn't like raining, and it wasn't anticipated. It was this freaky little thing, and it didn't just affect New Providence, it affected a lot of towns throughout the state. So, but that, again, doesn't necessarily mean we weren't happy, right? We were very frustrated with how long it took as well.
Do we even know what they classified it as, like a microburst or something?
Microburst, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They never say it's a tornado, because then the insurance companies have to pay.
I just wanted to thank our police and our DPW. Like I said, there's 2 poles were down in Commonwealth, and I actually was coming back from the fireworks, and I just wanted to say hi to the police officer that was there within minutes. When that fell, I saw him on the way in, and then I stopped to say hi on the way back. And then the next morning I got up and I went out to check out the town and get some coffee, and he was still there. It was 14 hours. He was sitting in his car for 14 hours, making sure no one crossed, him to potentially step on a live wire. I mean, and that wasn't just the only one. It was constant for 5 days, right? They were on their shifts, sitting in their cars for that extended period of time. I can't imagine how fun that must have been. And to see our DPW out there, cleaning up right away, is heartwarming, because, like you said, these guys, they do a
They're
lot of.
still out there.
Yeah, and they take it serious, and they work hard. I did want to say, it was an interesting 5 days. I was talking to one of my neighbors. I said, over those days, as I was walking around, I had more conversations with neighbors that I haven't had conversations with in a long time. You just wave hi as they drive by here and there. So, one of the positive things that came out of it is I literally had dozens of conversations with some of my neighbors on my block that, talking about their children or their grandchildren, or, their house or their jobs or retirements. I enjoyed that. That's just me. I like to talk, I guess. I don't know. I actually happened to, I had a cameo in one of your videos, actually.
Yeah, you were there when they turned it on.
Yeah, I went over to give some water. I brought some waters, and I didn't realize that there were like 25 people, or else I probably could have brought a couple cases of water. But, and talking to them, these utility guys were from Georgia and from Kentucky. They drove 20 hours from Georgia, 11 hours from Kentucky in these trucks. I mean, I said to them, I drive 12 hours to go pick up my daughter at the University of South Carolina in a really nice SUV, and it's miserable. I can't imagine driving 20 hours in those big trucks. It was horrible. But they were really nice guys, and I know they're part of a crew that travel the country and do those things, and they were really, really good guys. So I want to thank them, for doing that. Okay, so that was enough on the storm. All right, so planning-wise, we just wanted to mention a few things. We talked about MP Mountain Developers, which is the Lindy property up on Ryder Way. They've put in their application. I just wanted to remind everybody, that's a 297 age-restricted units. 59 of those units will be affordable. So that's up on, like I said, Mountain Avenue and Ryder Way. So that application is in and being reviewed. So don't be alarmed if you start seeing some action up there in the near future. That's been approved by the planning board. Like you mentioned earlier, we just reviewed Buffalo Wild Wings Go. So I just don't want to get anybody's hopes up. It's not Buffalo Wild Wings, right? There's no sports bars, there's no TVs. It's a go, which means they're basically preparing wings. Everything's going to be in a takeout package. So like you said, there's a couple of tables if you want to eat there. They don't have plates. They're going to give you some utensils, I guess, some plastic stuff to eat if you'd like.
Use your fingers.
Yeah.
Wings.
How are you gonna eat wings without a plate?
Is it going to be in a box?
Carefully.
It'll be in a box.
Yeah,
Eat 'em out
It's
of
going to be in a
the
box.
fridge.
Yeah, as long as I have napkins, I think we're good.
Napkins.
That's actually going to be, I think the timeline on that was like October, so that's going to happen rather quickly. What else? And just, yeah, if I didn't mention where that was the old Max Gymnasium, next gym over by Adams Shopping Center, Adams Clothing and Bella Riva. The planning board meeting, next meeting is going to be July 21st. We're going to be approving the housing elements that we just heard tonight. So if you have any questions on that, you can show up at the planning board meeting there. And that's it for planning. Just engineering. Just wanted to mention a couple of things real quick. You had mentioned the outfall inspections, so the outfall inspections are completed. You mentioned mapping, which is going to be beginning, right? They're going to be mapping all the inlets, manholes, swales, things of that nature. There's 2 projects. I just want to make sure, we have everyone has a kind of timeline of how this is going to work. But there's Union Avenue improvements, and then there's the Maple Street improvements. Maple Street is, Union Avenue is going to be early fall in 2027, and Maple Street will be most likely early spring. So just keep you guys get an idea of when those projects will start. There's a lot of time involved in the projects, and we're at the phase right now with almost both projects where we can move forward once we go out to bid and do all that stuff, but we can't do both projects at once, so we're going to stage those, right?
2027, you said?
Yes. Early,
Ways away.
yeah.
That's a ways away, isn't it?
Yeah, so, that's it. And then we talked about the HVAC and the DPW building, and that's all I had.
Okay. Lisa,
Thank you. I know that we've talked, as, we've said all we could say about the storm, but just one final thing was just to thank and acknowledge the volunteers, which are the EMS and our fire department. And they don't have to be there. They're volunteering. They're not getting paid for it, but they put their safety also on the line, and the safety of the residents is their main concern. So I just wanted a quick thank you to them. So we talked a lot about the old-time baseball game, and it happened. It was on June 27th. So for just a quick little recap, it was to replicate an old-time baseball game. So back late 1800s, early 1900s, New Providence had a baseball team called the Crescents. So we had a group of volunteers, Alan, Matt.
How's your back feeling, Matt?
Several others that donned the old-time baseball uniform.
With the cool
and
hat.
Yeah, it was so
hat
And the
fun.
hat, it was very cool, and played the New Providence Reds.
I think
You
we
guys
can take
did-
them next time.
You guys did phenomenal, and it was just so much
It was
fun.
so fun.
We had such a great turnout. Nadine and I were selling Cracker Jacks and popcorn, and everyone just had so much fun.
it was fun.
The weather held out. It was a great day. So hopefully maybe, is there, tradition in the future? Maybe
I hope so.
Maybe an
That would be a
annual
lot of
game?
fun.
I think that would be
it's coming
fun.
back.
I tell you,
I think it's gonna come back.
I just hope Maggie's okay, because Maggie hurt herself.
Yeah,
yeah, she's fun.
Yeah.
Holm Miller had a blast. He's the baseball coach that the field's named after. And he was one of my gym teachers. So I go out with him, he goes, "You don't think I'm throwing that first pitch?"
It was nice.
So that's all thanks to the America
He's
250
90-something years
Committee,
old.
Maria DeLuca, Diane
Yeah.
Pereira, and that whole crew. They
Yeah.
put a lot of work into that. And
Kathy
it-
Piper.
Yep, Kathy Biber, it showed. It was just a really fabulous event,
Oh,
so.
actually, can I just interject at that one point? And then the next day after that, on the 4th of July, we forgot to mention that there was
I
a
will do
reading.
that.
Oh, there you go.
So, to continue America 250, besides the storm on the 3rd, we want to thank Joe Murphy for baking us a 400-pound birthday cake. That was amazing. Hopefully everybody got a piece of that. And then on the 4th of July, America 250 Committee did a reading of the Declaration of Independence right here in Centennial Park, which was very well attended. So it was, just a lot of homage and acknowledging of our 250th. Events will continue through the year, so, stay tuned and we'll keep everybody posted. That's it.
It was good to hear it,
Yeah, absolutely.
because you really, you hear it when you're younger in school and this and that, but then when you hear it when you're older and you
You understand the
really
words.
taste it, it's really amazing. All those founding fathers, they put their lives on the line
They knew what they were talking about.
for principle,
Yeah.
so. Brian, you're up.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I don't have anything nearly as fun as that to report, although I will certainly echo the massive gratitude to all the first responders, DBW. When we were standing there in NP Fuel waiting for the storm to pass, you could just, they were just going back and forth, up and down, taking care of all the things that needed taken care of. So, it's a great set of folks that we have here doing that work, and we wouldn't be the borough that we are without them. Committee reports. Communications Committee is doing a lot of work behind the scene. We're doing some data gathering, looking at continuous improvement opportunities. So stay tuned, hopefully, for some fun stuff in the next month or two with that. Mental Health Committee is taking a month off for a mental health break.
Mental health break.
But we will be
Very
back.
true.
What's that?
Very true.
So we
100%.
will be back the third Wednesday of August, and looking to do some events hopefully in September for Suicide Prevention Month. So if you're interested, please join us for that. And then just a quick update. I actually just got this about an hour ago, so I apologize. I haven't had a chance to email you, but NPTV, the borough team did an assessment on the equipment. It is dead as a doornail. So they're working on a plan for replacement, but luckily we did secure the funds. The borough staff did secure the funds from Comcast, so more to come on that relatively soon. And that is all I have.
Bernadette.
Next.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution 2026-266 on tonight's agenda approves the 2026 municipal paving. We'll be working with a paving company to schedule the milling and paving of 12 roads and an entrance to and exit of the pool parking lot. These streets are currently listed on the website already under the community tab of the homepage under 2026 paving projects. As we get more details regarding the dates from the contractor, we will be posting it on the website, and affected residents will receive notification flyers in their homes. The summer newsletter was received at the Municipal Center today, so it should be in mailboxes within the week, I hope. And just a reminder that the MP Biz, in conjunction with MP Rec, are extending the annual concert series into a music series this summer, with live concerts, line dancing, pop-up magic shows, and free treats while they last, each Thursday in Centennial Park beginning at 7. This week, Blue Soul will be playing classic blues and R&B, weather permitting. Last week was canceled because of the weather. July 23rd, we have Nikki Breyer, a country rock band, and 3 weeks of country line dancing lessons. So if you don't know how to do it, they'll teach you. If you do know how to do it, come out. And don't forget to join us for National Night Out on Tuesday, August 4th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. in Centennial Park. Bring the whole family for an evening of community fun appreciation as we come together to meet and thank police officers, firefighters, EMS personnel, and all those who serve and protect our community. It's also a great opportunity to connect with the local businesses and organizations that help keep our town thriving. Special performance that night is by Squad 5. That's all I have.
Thank you.
That's all.
Okay, public comments, anybody wishing to address council? Yes, Alan.
Alan Swanson, 47 Overhill Road. Wasn't planning on speaking again, but since we're in the middle of July, I thought I would just remind everyone this is Plastic Free July. And the reason I bring it up is that on August 1st, there is a law that is going into effect in New Jersey, the Skip the Stuff law. And one of the issues with these, like the ban on straws, that took place. One of the big problems is the education, and of course, my wife and I actually go out to lunch just about every single day, and it's a hit or miss on the whether or not you're going to get a plastic straw or not, because you're not supposed to unless you ask for it. So what the Skip the Stuff is doing is basically when you order food that you're going to pick up or to have delivered, you need to specify if you want the single-use plastic utensils. You can, that's basically for the carryouts and the pickup. Going into the establishment, you're not really permitted to give the people the plastic utensils unless they ask for it. And if you have a facility that has seating for 10 and wait staff, you're not permitted to use the plastic. You really need to provide reusable plastic, I won't say plasticware, utensils. Let me see if there's anything else. Full service restaurants, the restaurants can ask you if you want to, if you need to have the single-use utensils. But anyway, that goes into effect on 8/1. And so I'm just here to remind everybody that that is a change. I'm told by the restaurants that I know quite a few of the owners of the restaurants that this one should be a little bit easier to implement because they're POS systems, they're systems for ordering. Actually, when people order online, there's a spot where they check off that they want to have the utensils. And if they don't check off, the default decision is you don't get the utensils. And of course, I'll tell you that the places where they do some catering or they get orders for a large order are saying, if I don't just automatically send along those utensils and I send out service for 50 and I haven't sent out the utensils, I bet I'm going to get in trouble with that person in the future. So it's going to be an adventure, but it's absolutely essential that this kind of action be taken really across the nation, because the plastic issue is, we keep talking about recycling. Less than 10% of the plastic ever produced, since the 50s when it started, has been recycled. So it just doesn't happen. And the bottles that you have, the plastic bottles, not only are they not recycled, the few that are go to make lesser things. They're downcycled, basically. So anybody that's telling you that, oh, we're making our plastic bottles out of recycled material isn't telling you the truth. Or they perhaps have 1% in there. It's just not it's just an area that's got so much misinformation and disinformation and greenwashing, which is the manufacturers telling you that they're doing all kinds of great things with this stuff when they're not. So anyway, since this was Plastic-Free Month, I thought I'd give you that update.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
And in the Tall Oaks section of New Providence, we definitely get to feel these storms when they come in. So we had wires in front of our driveway, for 4 days.
Exactly named.
I tell people basically, we've only had one tree come through our house in a similar storm actually. So I tell people, when you live in Tall Oaks, you're going to have one of these on your house at some point.
Actually, you weren't the last this time, so.
No, we did. We were fine. And after Sandy, we got a whole house generator, and we finally used it actually for 4 days. So we were sitting there looking, and we didn't even lose the cable wire from Verizon. Didn't get severed when the pole next door went down. So we actually had cable and internet and everything the whole time. So we couldn't get out of the house because we had wires blocking the bottom of the driveway. But so anyway, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm Ben DeSetter from 20 Klein Boulevard. I'm better known as Ben Franklin on Facebook. And there's a story, you can meet me outside and I'll explain to you how the stage name came. Anyway, first I want to thank you, Mayor, because I know you were very visible during the storm, as every other storm that we've had here. I think we're very proactive in our town, but I think us as residents can do a little bit more. And I'm wondering, can we create a committee? I'd be willing to be a part of it, to address maybe how to be more proactive as residents, what we could look out for if we see like trees entwined in lines or poles that
Yeah,
are.
you can go right to the action line, or if you see problems with the electric, you can call Jersey Central.
Right, but I'm one person. I will do it.
Believe me.
I will do it, but
Yeah.
I'm hoping that as a community, we could help lessen the severity of some of
Yeah,
these
I
storms.
understand. You know what, I have a pole at my house. Now, what was it? Back in 2006, I had the rep with me and showed him that pole. So it's all rotted down the bottom. And Comcast has some kind of machine up there, and there's a transformer, and there's, you know what they did? They came over and stuck a steel
Yeah,
rod
support.
in the ground and lined it to the.
That was the fix, yeah.
Yeah, but, yeah, the best thing to do is call Jersey Central, because.
I've done it. I've done it since I've moved, and you know what, believe it or not, before a storm, they do respond quicker
Yeah,
to it, but I think the problem is, I think a lot of times we're so reactive in the midst of the storm. Like, we didn't anticipate this, but there were tree cutters out pruning the week prior.
yeah.
They were on my block, they were on Klein,
Yeah,
and.
You do
I-
see them in the spring. They'll go out and like you do see them on the major roadways and they do like pruning operations.
I
But
think the
they
misconnect-
can't. Yeah, they can't hit every single.
The
You know,
misconception
it-
in the community, if you see on some of the forums, it's like, oh, well, it's every 5 years they come out. No, it's not every 5 years, but I think we could do better work around the line, since we can't do anything to bury it, unless
No,
New
that-
Jersey,
that- I,
Board of Utilities is not gonna
Yeah,
tell us
you're
to bury it,
exactly
so
right.
I get that, but
It's like $1 million.
but we could definitely, I think, work, even as residents, like, I don't have any trees on, I don't have lines on my side, but the residents that do, like you said, call the action line. I think maybe we need to make this more visible to the community.
maybe we can work on something on the website where people could report it.
We do have a new OEM coordinator, and I can bring it up with him about doing
Yeah.
a campaign for the public, so that, in the next newsletter that goes home to every mailbox, there could be something in there about it.
And then maybe we can send a whole list over to Jersey Central.
Aren't we mapping all the trees in the?
Well, we have
So
the
as we get that
arborist.
grant.
Yeah, so we
But that's
apply
only
for
on-
that
That
grant.
would definitely be a great first step.
Yeah.
That's only on borough property, is my
Yeah.
understanding.
Which is the power line, anything that's gonna be affecting a power line.
But
Thank
from
you.
OEM is a great idea.
But yeah, let us work on that, it's a good idea.
Sure, and like I said, you know, there's probably other residents like myself.
Leave your name and address of Bernadette so we can get back to you.
It's Ben Franklin.
You can't forget. He's the electric guy.
but not at home.
But yeah, it's funny because I was up on Klein Boulevard and just when I got up there, they were turning on the power. I
It
think
was
the whole
amazing.
neighborhood was there.
But the fact was, we did have a live wire.
Yeah, you
and-
did, yeah.
And Berkeley Heights, so it was on the Berkeley Heights side.
It was.
Berkeley Heights police were coming and going, but people weren't aware, they were going past the caution, you know, it's caution tape, but I said, maybe put something, a sign, live wire, oh, we don't have that.
Yeah.
So dangerous.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a lot.
You know, it's funny because when I was up there, they had the barricades out and I parked, you know, and I'm walking up and people are going around the barricades. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, yeah.
But he got to work it Sunday night. Sunday night, 8 o'clock, he's on Facebook, Klein is back in power.
Nobody ever accused me of being smart.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you, man.
Anyone else? Seeing no one, I declare the public comments closed. Let's go to formal action 1 through 34. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Lerner,
Yes.
Ms. Dolan,
Yes.
Mrs. Jeffrey,
Yes.
Mr. Kaminsky,
Aye.
Mrs. McKnight,
Yes.
Mr. Gardner.
Yes.
Motion for adjournment.
So moved?
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
No, so be it.
Thank you.
Thank you all for coming tonight, and be safe out there because I know there's still limbs coming down, so.
It's gonna be a hot one tomorrow.
The next 2 days are gonna be hot. Hot, hot, hot.
Go check out the community pool.
That's the one thing that scares me, is whenever you get real hot days like that, you get these storms you come through.
Yeah.